Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
I'm pissed off, y'all.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
I am slightly less pissed off than yesterday.
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment, and I'm gradually irritated, I suppose. I mean, all things considered, I'm not mad, but I am a bit caustically disappointed, let's say. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good Tuesday. For those of you who are or who were expecting to play Fallout 76 today and decided to open the launcher at the wrong moment. Yeah, well, welcome to the club. Thank you, Terry Diamantis. You should get Monkey's angry cousin on as a guest. He's great on Twitter. Yeah, Monkey's cousin, or Monkey's uncle. That's it. Monkey's uncle is a nice guy. Kind of, sort of. Let's see. So how are you? Well, we're going to find out how you guys are doing in just a few minutes. So why do I even bother asking? Because I know that Monkey's doing because of internet fuckatry, which we'll get to. Actually, Satsu, I don't know what your day's been like. I know what Monkey's day's been like. How are you?
I got to buy 2 monitors today because my other one broke last night for reasons I will not disclose.
Okay.
And my bank account certainly isn't happy.
Feel free to guess in the chat what happened to Satsu's monitor. And Monkey, in very summary terms, because we'll get to the details soon enough. How are you?
You know what? Let's go with the positive side. The new grandbaby will be born hopefully within a shoe fort hours. Few short hours.
A shoe fort. Shoe fort hours. Oh man, I want a shoe fort now.
In a shoe. God damn it! I just about did it again. Few short hours. Mama has been induced, so labor has started. Just going to see how long labor takes.
Well, that'd be a question for Irate Bear.
Lady Monkey's longest labor was 9 hours. My daughter's labor was only 6 hours.
My mother's was 36 hours. So
yeah, my mom was. I was 36-hour baby.
There you go. Yeah, we were baked to perfection, is what we were.
So hopefully, before the morning comes, she will be here, and I'll be happy about that, and forget all this fucketry we'll get into in a little while.
You know who would be able to make the most awesome shoe fort?
Al Bundy.
Imelda Marcos.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who even know who that is, hopefully you get that reference.
Scribbles?
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm doing all right. My day was relatively quiet at work, but I got home and was surprisingly productive. I hadn't imagined I'd get done everything I got done today, video-wise. I'll get to that at YouTube time. And then I was all set to play 76 with my buddies here. And then, so for those of you who aren't Fallout 76 aficionados or anything, here's how this was meant to go. Those of us who pre-ordered the game a few months ago, paid for it ahead of time, were told and promised that at a certain point, the game would unlock in order for those of us who had pre-ordered to help beta test the game and stress test it before official launch. And we were told the date for this unlocking for PC users would be October 30th. And we were sent a code about a week in advance or so to log in and begin pre-downloading the game so that by the time the beta test launched, we'd be all ready to go. This preload deal was about 47 gigabytes worth of information. And that downloaded faster for some of us than others. For me, it was about 2 hours. For Monkey, it was about 2.5 days.
Yeah. And for me, it was about 40 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. And so anyway, we all did this about a week ago, thereabouts, getting ready for the event that was to happen today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. There was going to be a 4-hour window in which you could beta test the game for today until the 1st of November when they do that again. Well, about an hour before the whole thing was supposed to launch, I went onto my desktop and I opened up the Bethesda launcher, the very specific app used to launch Bethesda games now. And I didn't really pay attention to it because I know I still had an hour, so I just kind of let it sit in the background. And then I saw an article that Monkey had posted on Twitter saying, Bethesda advises not to click on anything as they're addressing a problem with the beta. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll wait until there's an all clear to launch the game. Except when I look back at the launcher, I was downloading 47 gigabytes worth of information again. And I was like, what? And then I looked on the Bethesda Twitter feed. And everybody who had opened the launcher had all of their preload files deleted, and the launcher was re-downloading 47 gigabytes worth of information. So anyone who didn't know or waited to open the launcher is apparently fine. Anybody who opened the launcher because that's what you would do, or they had it on the like on their startup on their computer, were screwed. And so now I'm still re-downloading everything I downloaded a week ago or several days ago or whatever at ridiculously reduced speeds because everybody's having to re-download this. Or at least everybody who, wasn't given a notice somehow to not do it. So anyway.
Actually, even if you hadn't clicked on the launcher, pretty much everyone has to re-download it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I literally just did it when I got home and I started re-downloading.
So anyway, those of us who were set aside time or planned out that we were going to be here to, goof off on this thing as being fans of the franchise, I just got fucked over. So there's several people who are upset today. Of course, this is first world problems level of shit, but still, it's annoying, especially when you pay for something and expect to get something for your money. But hey, it's just the beta, so it doesn't really mean anything, I guess, still. Anyway, thank you, Cryptic. Must apologize for falling asleep last night waiting for the raffle. The winner wasn't there, and I will get him or her the code if he contacts you guys. The raffle.
We had a raffle last night on our game stream. Cryptic was kind enough to sponsor that. We gave away a copy of Hunt. That's what it was, Hunt.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're giving away a copy if the winner will get a hold of us.
All right. I also have a special message from Sarah Plyer, who was unable to join us tonight because of real life stuff. She wanted me to say hi to the chat and everyone from her. So there you go.
All right.
But all of that being said, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, hit that like button if you have not already. And many, many, many of you have not. So I appreciate it if you did. And share our stuff far, wide, and everywhere on Twitter, on Facebook, MySpace, Napster, Friendster, ICQ, AOL, IM, good place, good stuff.
We tell you guys that every night, but seriously, please share this one. For those of you who did miss it, and we will get to it later, my Twitter got suspended. I can't share this on my main account. My 60 followers, what am I up to on this account? Hang on.
You mean your uncle?
No, it's my cousin.
Your cousin. Your cousin's account, yeah.
He's only got 99 followers, so I don't have much reach. So if you guys would please share, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, we are down 1/3 of our rebroadcasting ability this evening.
Fuckers.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. So if there's nothing else, I can get on to the schnuzz.
Schnuzz
I
away.
don't read the news.
Well, let's see. Trump makes solemn visit to Pittsburgh, even as officials shun his timing. President Donald Trump paid a solemn visit Tuesday to grieving Pittsburgh, where some local officials said his presence was unwelcome and where shouts of protest could be heard in the distance as he viewed memorials to the murdered victims. Trump went unaccompanied by a slate of elected leaders who declined invitations to join him. Now, I'll have a question for you guys after I'm done reading this. Instead, he traveled alongside the First Lady and prominent Jewish members of his administration, including daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared Kushner, to somberly lay stones atop the 11 Star of David marker. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's try that again. To somberly lay stones atop the 11 Star of David markers planted in the ground outside the Tree of Life synagogue. The traditional Jewish practice was in remembrance of the victims of Saturday's shooting spree, the worst anti-Semitic attack in American history. Trump was greeted at the scene by the congregation's rabbi, Jeffrey Myers, and Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Ron Dermer. He lit candles in the synagogue's entryway, but did not venture into the sanctuary, which is still considered a crime scene. Trump spent around 3 hours on the ground and made no public remarks. He appeared reverent while in public view, quietly placing small stones taken from the White House grounds on the white stairs, while his wife placed single white rosebuds. Others in his entourage, including Miss Trump, grew tearful, though the president remained stoic. As he walked down the row of makeshift memorials, he was overheard ruminating on the tragedy at hand. Quote, "Very sad, very, very sad," he said. "Hopefully we will learn a lot from what happened," unquote. Okay, so is the timing bad? I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know what the appropriate timing is for a president to visit a scene of tragedy. So maybe I'm missing something as to why that was inappropriate.
Well, my cynical explanation is there is no good timing. No matter when he would have came, it would have been bad. He showed up now, and they're like, "Oh, it's too early. That's bad." He showed up later. They're like, Trump didn't care enough to show up, sooner. So it doesn't matter. Is my answer.
Satsu just said exactly what I would have said. Yes.
And the other thing that I wanted to bring up was, with all these calls to unity and to show, a community, etc., all these politicians, sort of snubbing, showing up as well. Yeah. Like what? I'm getting a lot of mixed messages from the rhetoric I'm hearing from either side of the aisle, really. So because the people that didn't show up were both Republicans and Democrats on the list of people who were invited. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that. And I think Satsu's right. There wouldn't have been a good time because regardless of when he showed up, it would have been criticized. And of course, this isn't unique to Trump because similar arguments have been made against practically any president from the opposite side of the aisle from time immemorial if they've ever done something that seemed like it was too late or too soon or whatever. So I'm just glad that he didn't put up a podium and start making speeches.
Yeah, he shut the fuck up. He went there and he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, of all the things he could have done that'd be worse, whatever your take on the timing, it would have been to try to make himself the centerpiece of the whole thing.
All right.
So that happened. And then another thing that happened today is our wonderful world of executive orders, or the threat thereof.
I love this story.
So it was one of those things where I read it this morning because it happened early this morning, and I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But anyway, in relation to that, Paul Ryan says, quote, "You cannot end birthright citizenship with an executive order," unquote. House Speaker Paul Ryan told a Kentucky radio station on Tuesday that, quote, "You cannot end birthright citizenship with an executive order," unquote, remarks that come after President Donald Trump said that he thought about trying to do just that. Excuse me. Quote, "You obviously cannot do that," Ryan told WVLK when asked by an interviewer about the president's recent comments and where he stands on, quote, "an executive order ending birthright citizenship," unquote. Ryan went on to say, quote, "As a conservative, I'm a believer in following the plain text of the Constitution, and I think in this case, the 14th Amendment is pretty clear," unquote.
Bullshit. Fuck you, Paul. Yo.
All right, hold on. Thank you, Sanguine. Appropriate timing is something only Democrats can ever have, no matter how early or late they show. Republicans are always at the wrong time, though. Obama was criticized on several occasions by people all over the place for either not showing or not caring about things. So, like I say, it's not unique to a particular party or president.
Yeah.
Let's see. The right to citizenship for anyone born in the United States is guaranteed in the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. And I know Monkey's going to have an argument to that.
No.
I know. Hold on. But the House Speaker sought to emphasize common ground with the president on immigration, saying, quote, "Where we obviously totally agree with the president is getting at the root issue here, which is unchecked illegal immigration. We, House Republicans and this president, are in total agreement on the need to stop illegal immigration, to secure our border and fix our laws," unquote. Trump told Axios in an interview released on Tuesday that he believes he can get rid of birthright citizenship by using an executive order. The president said during the interview that he has spoken with counsel about the legally dubious possibility. Representative Ryan Costello of Pennsylvania, who is not running for re-election, suggested on Tuesday that the president's decision to float the idea ahead of the midterms amounted to, quote, political malpractice, unquote. I'm not quite sure there's such a thing as political malpractice. There's either it works or it doesn't. Thank you, Toasted Network. What do you think about Kanye? Will this hurt Blexit? I only sort of caught up on what was going on with Kanye. I think we'll probably get to that in MSS News. So
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Stay tuned. Okay, now I know what Monkey's going to say about the 14th Amendment. However, I would just remind, and I know he does, but just for the sake of those out there, the 14th Amendment was reinterpreted or refined in understanding by the Supreme Court of the United States back in, was it 1898 or thereabouts, to say that the first line of the 14th Amendment, at least the clause dealing with citizenship and birthright, means that if you are born here, period, as in on the soil of the U.S., you instantly become a citizen. That is how it has been interpreted by the Supreme Court and by our judicial system since before the 1900s. So, Monkey, go ahead.
Yes, SCOTUS did that, but they've been wrong before. Not the first time. And does Donald Trump have the power to do this? Probably not.
I hope not. I hope not. And here's why. If an executive order from any president at any time can override the Supreme Court and or the Constitution, that is something we cannot have allowed. I don't know what else to say about it. Doesn't matter if we're talking about the 14th Amendment or the first. It just, you can't have it.
Well, yes and no. One, the reason that he probably shouldn't be able to do this is that according to the Constitution, if you look up executive power, it's not a power he has. Naturalization is actually a power given to Congress. Mm-hmm. It is actually one of the listed powers they have. The president being able to override it, they can try, and this is what I think will happen. If he does this executive order, this will go. It'll be fast tracked to the Supreme Court, no doubt. Mm-hmm. It'll probably be challenged in the Ninth Circuit first, because that'll be a very it'll be challenged by some federal judge. It'll be immediately the judge will definitely go against Trump. It'll be challenged in the Ninth Circuit, because that is a very good place to do that if you want to override somebody like Trump. And then it'll go to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court will do one of two things. They will either say, sorry, Mr. President, you don't have this power, and leave it at that. Or they'll say, sorry, Mr. President, you don't have this power, but the original interpretation from the 1890s is wrong, and here's why. The 14th Amendment, what they said there, one, it had nothing to do with illegal immigrants. It was a way to stop states from rejecting rights given to slaves after the war. And it is disgusting that it's become what it is. There's a line in there that says, anybody, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but it's anybody born or naturalized into the U.S. and under U.S. jurisdiction, which, by the way, illegals are not. Mm-hmm. That is the whole thing. And what the Supreme Court ruled on was only that first little part before the comma, ignoring every argument about why this became a law. Mm-hmm. It is one of the oldest judicial mistakes made by our Congress. And I would be shocked with the way the Supreme Court is right now if they didn't go ahead and decide on that also. So can he do it? I don't think so, but I think him doing it will end up getting the result he wants anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if he puts the question forward, that's different than him just making a presidential fiat changing the law. Now, I understand, and people in the chat reminded me, you don't need to remind me. This is why I don't like executive orders. What Obama did was not good. A lot of the things about it.
Down a lot.
Yeah, and it gets slapped down a lot. The times that it doesn't, though, it's still not good. I don't like executive orders, or at least the breadth with which they can change things and implement either new law or countermand things that have been in place as passed by Congress in the past. So no, you're not gonna catch me on like saying Obama got away. Obama did a good thing. No, I didn't like the fact that DACA got pushed into existence. I don't like the prospect of any president, Trump or otherwise, having the power to supersede the Supreme Court or the Constitution on a whim. I just don't like it, period. So anyway,
but
that's all
yeah,
that.
this is technically it should be the Congress's job to change that kind of thing.
Yes.
But since this was a Supreme Court ruling, this wasn't a law that they changed. This was, it was just it very much the way Roe v. Wade, whether you guys like Roe or not, I don't care. The way the court ruled was fucking wrong. It was legislating from the bench, and they need to stop doing that shit.
All right, I only got a couple more here, and I got one that I picked out especially for Monkey today, which I thought would make him, well, not happy, not happy, but maybe give him some catharsis. First, kind of breaking news: Whitey Bulger was murdered in prison today.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, Boston gangster James Whitey Bulger killed in West Virginia prison a day after transfer. James Whitey Bulger, the notorious and much feared former Boston mob boss, was killed Tuesday morning at the U.S. Penitentiary Hazleton in Brewston Mills, West Virginia. Quote, he lived violently and he apparently died violently, said Dickler. D-I-C-K, that's his first name. L-E-H-R is his last name, Dickler. I feel sorry for you, Dick. The FBI is investigating the death, which occurred a day after his transfer to the West Virginia facility, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Quote, hopefully the 7 years he spent in prison, as well as his recent death, brings some closure to the families of his many victims, Brian Kelly, one of the former federal prosecutors who tried Bulger, said in a statement. Bulger, 89, was found unresponsive at 8:20 a.m., according to a statement from the Prisons Bureau. He was pronounced dead by the Preston County Medical Examiner after failed life-saving measures. No staff or other inmates were injured, the Prison Bureau said. The circumstances of this week's transfer remain unclear. Bulger had also been housed at federal penitentiaries in Oklahoma and Tucson, Arizona. It'd be funny or ironic if he was being transferred for his safety.
Yeah, no, that would be.
If like they got a word that that hit was out on him at his former prison, and then he transferred him to a new one, and he gets nailed. Yeah, it's one of those guys that I don't really feel that sorry for if he got murdered in prison, because that was
not a good man.
Yeah, I'm not a death penalty advocate, but what goes around comes around in the life that you lead, and that's kind of what I think happened to him. So, okay, one more, and then we'll get to the one I picked out for Monkey, because I have a story today from our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Alyssa. And Chris's article, or blog today, reads, "The dangerous consequences of Trump's all-out assault on political correctness."
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
I don't know what's in this. I just saw that Chris put out something today, and I thought we should take a look. When Donald Trump ran for president, one of the core pillars of his pitch to the voting public was this: political correctness is a cancer eating away at the body politic. That wasn't a quote, by the way. That was just Chris's, I guess, summation. Excuse me. Quote, "We have to straighten out our country. We have to make our country great again, and we need energy and enthusiasm," Trump said during an appearance on Meet the Press in August 2015. "And this political correctness is just absolutely killing us as a country. You can't say anything. Anything you say today, they'll find a reason why it's not good," unquote. Sounds a little bit different than saying political correctness is a cancer eating away at the body politic, but anyway, whatever. People responded big time. The idea that liberals and or elites had made it so no one could say what they thought for fear of being labeled intolerant or unenlightened was a powerful one in the very communities that Trump was appealing to. Whites watching the society and culture they had grown up with change faster and in ways that, in some cases, made them deeply uncomfortable. Well, why don't you go talk to Chuck Wendig, or James Gunn, or Roseanne, or anybody else who said something that wasn't palatable for the moment and then got fired? Is he wrong? Moving on. No. Like much of Trump's appeal, there was a kernel of truth in it. A kernel. Not the military kind, the corn kind. Speech on places like college campuses, for example, had been curtailed over recent years by usually liberal groups insisting offense and demanding trigger warnings in classes and quads. There was a frustration among many that having views that diverged from what liberals had decided was acceptable were being shut down. It was a frustration based on fact.
Exactly.
I'm surprised he acknowledged it.
Yeah, it's a frustration based on the reality. If you watch what was going on at Mizzou, Chris, or at what was the was it? It wasn't Oberon State, Evergreen. There was, I think, was it Oberon College, something like that. Yeah, this wasn't a theory, Chris. You could see it on video. You could see
it's just
teachers.
A kernel of truth, though, Scribe.
Yeah, just a kernel. It's a kernel. Yeah. The problem with Trump's assault on political correctness is that he took it so far that he clearly emboldened not only those lurking in the shadows to bring their hate speech into the light of day, but also lowered the overall bar for what is considered acceptable discourse among politicians and other leaders in the country.
The fuck are you talking about? Okay, I hope he has examples.
Chris, if you want to talk about the breakdown of civility in this country, it didn't start under Trump. Okay. Nope. And not that it started under Obama either, but I would just call you back to Joe Walsh? No, sorry. There was when Obama was making his speech and he said something about the Affordable Care Act, and there was a senator in the audience that yelled "liar."
Oh yeah.
Even though he wasn't lying, and I know people out there are going to argue with me, but he wasn't lying. Civility and political correctness and everything else. This has been going on since the 90s, Chris. This isn't some new thing, and Trump didn't make it up out of whole cloth. It's
not even... political discourse being shit, it goes back way further. Keep reading. I want to hear his examples. He better have some.
Okay. No, guys, it wasn't Joe Walsh. It was, I forget his name. He was on the tip of my tongue a second ago, but the guy who yelled out, "You lie," look it up. It's a very common name, at least in the first sense. Okay, the first piece of that equation, the rise of hate speech, I would direct you back to the Oklahoma City bombing and the militias and such, Chris. The rise of hate speech. Joe Wilson, yes, that's what it was. I got the W right. The rise of hate speech has been going on a long time, Chris, just to let you know. Has drawn most of the attention publicly because, well, that's what these purveyors of intolerance want. From the murder of 11 Jews at a synagogue in Pittsburgh by a man who voiced anti-Semitic views in online forums to the white supremacist marches. You have to put a comma there, Chris. An online forums, comma, to the white supremacist marches in Charlottesville, Virginia, comma, that led to the death of a counter-protester named Heather Heyer. Okay, Heather Heyer's death was caused by a guy speeding through a crowd. She wasn't targeted any more than anybody else in that crowd. Now, that doesn't make her death any less tragic, but the people who were actually protesting there did not kill Heather Heyer.
Have I missed the prominent politicians who've gotten horrible?
I don't know yet. We've seen these abhorrent views on display more and more, and often with disastrous consequences. Okay. The Anti-Defamation League has said that incidents of public anti-Semitism, bomb threats, vandalism, etc., surged by 57% in 2017. There were a total of 1,986 anti-Semitic incidents reported in the U.S. in 2017. In 2016, the number was 1,267. A study by the Center for Hate and Extremism at the University of California, San Bernardino showed that in 2017, hate crimes reported to the police in America's 10 largest cities rose 12.5%. It was the fourth consecutive year that total had increased, and it marked the highest total of hate crimes in more than a decade. I always get skeptical about when they say things like this, but I'm like, okay, what quantifies a hate crime? Because that bar has been moving all over the place for the last 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
I committed one today.
Yeah, apparently so. We'll talk about that soon. Quote, "We are determined to take our country back," said former KKK Grand Wizard David Duke in 2017. Who the fuck gives a shit about David Duke?
No one.
No one cares about David Duke, Chris. The only time I ever hear about David Duke, actually the first time I've heard about David Duke in a year, is now from you. Nobody listens to. He's not a leader of anything. He's a former KKK Grand Wizard, and nobody gives a shit.
He's a giant racist nobody talks about, except for you guys when you need to point out, oh my God, somebody likes Trump.
Quote, we are going to fulfill the promises of Donald Trump. Who's we? David Duke represents who again? That's what we believed in. That's why we voted for Donald Trump, because he said he's going to take our country back. Okay. The second piece of what Trump's war on political correctness has wrought, I'm still waiting for these politicians who have suddenly been drawn into his evil, gets less attention, but may matter just as much to the long-term health and sustainability of our democracy. Okay? The way in which he has drastically dragged political dialogue into the gutter. I'm sorry. Who has dragged political dialogue into the gutter?
Well, Trump.
All by himself.
By himself.
In the last week, we've seen House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy tweet, then delete this, quote, we cannot allow Soros, Steyer, and Bloomberg to buy this election. Get out and vote Republican November 6th. MAGA.
What's wrong with that?
Well, tell me about the Koch brothers, Chris. Giant billionaire donors to political parties have always been the enemy of the opposite side of the aisle. So is anyone else on the Democratic side said about the Koch brothers during the Obama administration less bad then? Oh, but Soros, Steyer, and Bloomberg are all wealthy Jewish Americans.
Oh, it's because they're Jews?
Says Chris.
Says Chris.
We've seen Iowa Republican Representative Steve King talk to a far-right Austrian party, telling them that, quote, Western civilization is on the decline, and asking, what does this diversity bring that we don't already have, unquote. Wait, Steve King is talking to an Austrian party because of Donald Trump? Donald Trump is informing Steve King, who's been in that job for, what, 10 years? As to what?
Long time, yeah.
Okay, all right, Chris. Earlier this year, the founders of the Women's March on Washington faced scrutiny for a failure to distance themselves from the Nation of Islam's Louis Farrakhan, a well-documented anti-Semite who recently compared Jews to termites. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you know, you got a super chat that's flown off the screen.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm just so absorbed into Chris Eliz's stuff. Also, thank you, Point Curation. Evergreen College, C. Benjamin Boyce. Okay. Yeah, Evergreen College. I knew that one should have come to mind quicker than the other ones. And thank you, Eric. The ADL thinks if you make a bagel wrong, it's anti-Semitic. Well, again, I don't want to say that there are no hate crimes in the world, but I've done lots of videos where someone has thrown out a statistic saying, this is the number of X that has happened last year, and here's the number of X that's happened this year. And then if you actually look at the study and you see what qualifies as counting towards the number, sometimes, not always, sometimes they've changed the standard, or their standards are so broad as to include anything. So I always get a little, twitchy when I'm told that there's suddenly a ridiculously large percentage increase in something between 1 year's time. So what else? Okay, so the founders of the Women's March on Washington were close to Louis Farrakhan then? But the founders on the Women's March on Washington aren't a Republican organization, so far as I know.
I don't get his point about Farrakhan. Farrakhan is a famous anti-Semite who's been embraced by...
Yeah.
What's his point?
I don't know. That's why, it's interesting that he brings it up. I'm just wondering, okay, let's see. The founders for the Women's March on Washington faced scrutiny for a failure to distance themselves from the Nation of Islam's... And how's that a failure of political correctness?
Here's the thing. We absolutely know Louis Farrakhan is a fucking anti-Semite. It's not like when you guys go out there and accuse Trump of it, will be based on some weird ass thing he says. The fact that his son-in-law is a fucking Jew and his daughter
converted.
Thank you. That's the word. Don't look at that. That he's the real Jew hater. Don't look at this guy over here who literally compared Jews to termites.
Aside from the obvious appeals by politicians and others to anti-Semitic sentiments, there is a whole other class of speech that has turned incivility into some sort of rallying cry for their respective party bases. Are you going to mention Hillary?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, she literally called for that exact thing, a lack of civility.
You cannot be civil to a party that wants to destroy you. Trump has called those who opposed Brett Kavanaugh, really?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh
who opposed Brett Kavanaugh's ascension to the Supreme Court evil. Brett Kavanaugh was called evil by the Democrats.
He was called a rapist?
He was called, well, I mean, even before the whole allegations came about, he was quoted as being an evil person before all that happened. Chris.
Well, like over on Facebook, like I said, I've been getting into a lot of these conversations, and I've had this conversation with so many people. People seem to think that nothing existed before Trump. Before Trump came into office, there was no bad in the world. There was no negative discourse. Everybody got along. We agreed on everything. Nobody ever said or did anything bad towards each other. We were all just on the same page, holding hands, singing Kumbaya, and fucking roasting marshmallows together. That's how the world was. And then Trump stepped in and everything went to shit. And I'm just like, where the fuck have you been?
Well, this is the same, and I know I keep going back to this, but this is just the same tune, different player, because same stuff was going on during Obama's administration. Same stuff was going on during Bush's. Same stuff was going on during Clinton's. Everybody thinks
it's not this bad.
Well, you know why it's this bad? Social media. Okay. What's the word I'm looking for? The audio loop. The resonance chamber that is social media makes it so much more immediate and so much more pronounced and crowded that there's a lot more voices available for people to partake of now than there was even under Obama's time. But the sentiments are the same. The accusations, the conspiracy theories are the same. Now, I am not saying that two wrongs make a right, okay? That Trump calling people evil is somehow less bad than somebody calling Brett Kavanaugh evil. I'm just saying to Chris Cillizza, if you're going to make statements like this and you're not going to treat the situation fairly, then I don't know what you're doing there except being Chris Cillizza, I guess.
Well, see, here's part of why I disagree with you on the scope of it and it being because of social media. A large part of it comes from the news, and those of us who get our news from the internet and stuff, there's still a lot of people who read the paper, who watch CNN and Fox and MSNBC, NBC, ABC. They're all getting this from a whole class of media who absolutely hates this man. And I have never seen that in my lifetime with a president. You also have major players on both parties where they might have gotten like snippy with each other. And Hillary Clinton literally calling for incivility as a moral thing. You during the Pussy March, which yes, social media helped bring that together. Do I think it would have existed without it? I do. And you had Madonna up there. I'd love to blow up the White House. And I'm like, ha, she's so funny. That it has gotten worse, and I'm not laying this at the feet of the ideology. I'm laying it at the feet of the people involved. But I think they keep ratcheting up the hatred because they have to, because they think because they do think it's a moral imperative.
Yeah, one more thing I think is a definite contributing factor, even if we can't blame Trump specifically for this thing being a thing. The fact that this is probably the only president that I know of that actively is like, they're like, fuck you, Trump. And instead of being gracious about it, he's like, fuck you, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think there's ever been that before. So people are really outraged at the fact that he doesn't just take it like other presidents have and handle it, presidentially, how he's supposed to. And that really rouses people up because they're like, you're not supposed to be able to say that to us. We only can say that to you. And he's like, fuck off.
Well, in that sense, then he is enabling some of this rhetoric.
Well, yeah, and that's what I said. That like whenever I'm having this argument with people, I'll always reiterate: I'm not saying that Trump is not contributing. I am saying you are full of shit for claiming he is the only contributor. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it would be nice, even though it probably wouldn't do a whole lot of difference. But it would be nice if Trump would set a better example than those who are trying to be just little monsters out there. But God forbid, this is also why I didn't vote for the guy. Anyway, that goes on for a bit more, but I wanted to get to this, and we're already kind of late for MSS News, because I want to give this to Monkey. we'll go into a deep topic time with MSS News, guys. So I'll try to make up for that. But CNN put up a list today of 14 different writers / celebrities answering the question, what kind of America do you want? And there was one writer in particular that I will focus in on now just for Monkey, and that's his favorite friend, Alyssa Milano.
It's a good thing she's cute.
And the headline of her piece is, voting is how we prove America is kinder and bigger and better than Trump.
Now, remember the question, what kind of America do you want? And that's how it starts.
Democracy doesn't happen automatically. It demands our actions and participation. It challenges us, but it also empowers us. Because at the end of the day, it is us. Donald Trump's name may not be on the ballot this midterm election, but here is what is. Our Constitution.
It's really not.
Okay, I'm going to read that again just for those of you in the cheap seats. Donald Trump's name may not be on the ballot this midterm election, but here is what is. Our Constitution. Our rights, protections, equality, and justice, even our lives.
Nope.
Women's rights are, without Roe v. Wade's protection of choice under threat. Wait, what? Women's rights are, comma, with Roe v. Wade's protection of choice under threat. Okay. Immigrant children's lives are at risk without people demanding that families belong together. Black lives...
Hold on.
Well, okay.
Aren't their lives at risk for their parents putting them at risk?
Now, Satsu.
Now, Satsu, don't talk about trying to cross
Don't
a desert
blame the
without
victim.
water. Yeah.
Don't blame the victim.
Black lives are at risk without reform that insists that they matter.
Fuck you, you beautiful moron.
Oh my God. The lives of countless Americans are at risk without the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. Voting is how we protect each other. No, that's actually not true, Alyssa. But anyway, voting is how we make our voices heard. Okay, that is true to a certain extent. Voting is how we prove that our country is so much kinder and bigger and better than that man in the White House. No, the man is in the White House because of voting, Alyssa.
Don't tell her that.
I know you don't want to accept that, but that is the case. The good news is that in a democracy like ours, the real power isn't with him; it's with us.
Hey, she got one right.
I know. I was about to say, I was like, well, okay, you're batting 20% now. And I firmly believe that we have more hope and love on our side than they have xenophobia and greed. Oh, so it's an us versus them thing.
Of course it is.
So are we protecting each other, Alyssa, or are we in constant adversarial against one another? Which is it? Trans lives are at risk if we don't elect leaders who will ensure they won't be erased.
Nobody's going to go out killing trans people. God, they make it sound like there's going to be a roving government squad killing trans people.
Well, we had the roving government squad deporting people when Trump was first elected. So why not? You talk about conspiracy theories. Thank you, Point Curation. Using your ballot to showcase virtue equals Trudeau. well, I mean, it's a binary choice between one candidate and another. You can assume all the motivations you want behind the vote. At the end of the day, whoever gets the most gets the office. So never doubt our place in our country and its future. Never doubt our ability to drive change. Hillary's not president. Anyway, replace any doubt with the courage to dare to make a difference, dare to raise your voice, dare to be a megaphone for others, because democracy takes courage. It takes guts. But most of all, it takes us.
In the U.S., democracy takes no guts or courage. It's actually illegal for somebody to fuck with you when you go to vote.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it's against the law.
What she neglected to mention, which is in there somewhere, I'm sure you just didn't read the fine print, but she forgot to say, but if we vote and things don't go our way, then voting is bad. It is not the good things that I just said it is. It's horrible. Don't forget that.
Yes. Then it was the Russians made us vote that way.
Then it was the Russians.
Okay. Well, unless you guys got some other stories, I was going to run over to MSS News for a few minutes. We'll do YouTube time and internet fucketry, and then we'll go back to MSS News.
No.
Monkey.
I don't think so.
And I'm down to 586 kilobytes a second.
Welcome to my world, Scribe.
Yep, that's down from 18 megabytes about 2.5 hours ago. So thanks, Bethesda. And the other question is, am I coming in all right, even though I'm downloading something?
Yeah, you sound fine.
That's probably the advantage of having good internet on my end, but just Bethesda having overwrought servers at present. So anyway, guys, if you have stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but tonight we might. So we'll see. This one comes from Signal Boost. If it'll pull up here. After finding thousands of planets, NASA's Kepler mission ends. NASA's Kepler Space Telescope has run out of fuel, and its mission has come to an end 94 million miles from Earth. The deep space mission's end is not unexpected, as low fuel levels had been noted in July. Well, I would think of all the people that would know what's going on with their machines and their fuel, it'd be NASA. So, the 9-year planet hunting mission discovered 2,899 exoplanet candidates and 2,681 confirmed exoplanets in our galaxy, revealing that our solar system isn't the only home for planets, which we pretty much already kind of knew, or at least guessed at, but it's nice to confirm. Kepler allowed astronomers to discover that 20% to 50% of the stars we can see in the night sky are likely to have small, rocky, Earth-sized planets within their habitable zones, which means that liquid water could pool on the surface and life as we know it could exist on these planets. Well, I hope it's not life as we know it, because that'd be boring. I want, like, crazy aliens. Like
go to San Francisco.
Cthulhu monsters. No, monkey. Stop that. All right. Well, there's more to the story, but I want to keep moving. This one comes from Sora Luna. I hate it when they give me a link and then I click on it and it gets me the photo and not the actual story. Motorist facing charges in 3 deaths of Indiana siblings hit while trying to board a school bus. Oh, for fuck's sake. A 24-year-old woman is facing reckless homicide charges after a pickup truck she was driving struck and killed 3 siblings who were crossing the road to get to their school bus, Indiana State Police said. 6-year-old twin boys, Javier Engel and Mason Engel, and their 9-year-old sister, Alavia Stahl, were killed Tuesday morning in rural Rochester, authorities said in a statement. An 11-year-old student who is not related to the siblings was also struck by the 2017 Toyota Tacoma. The child was airlifted to a hospital with life-threatening injuries, including multiple broken bones. Alyssa Shepard of Rochester was arrested at her workplace. So it was a hit and run? Okay. The arrest warrant alleges 3 felony counts of reckless homicide and a misdemeanor count of passing a school bus with the stop arm extended, causing injury. Shepard, who had remained at the scene following the incident, was being held on $15,000 bond. It was not immediately clear whether she had an attorney. So
this bitch
how'd they
ran over 4 children,
yeah.
And then went to work?
No, that's what I don't understand. She remained at the scene following the incident, was being held on a $15,000 bond. Well, then why did they arrest her at her job? I'm confused. Anyway. Anyway, they're investigating. So they don't say whether or not she was under the influence or anything. So we'll see what else, I guess. Let's have a funny story, something. Okay, well, since Monkey's a big fan of Friends, if this will pull up. The one with the lookalike. David Schwimmer pleads innocence after Blackpool beer theft. Did you hear about this, Monkey?
I did, yeah.
Friends actor David Schwimmer has posted a video proving he was not behind an alleged theft carried out by a lookalike in Blackpool. I've seen the picture of the guy. He doesn't actually look like David Schwimmer, except like from an angle.
Right.
I'm sure if you looked at him face on, he'd look nothing like David Schwimmer, but whatever. Yeah, so this is mostly made up of like Twitter posts and things. So anyway, a guy that passingly looks like David Schwimmer in Blackpool in Britain was caught on camera shoplifting, and then David Schwimmer made a video making fun of it, and it was funny. Thank you, Sanguine. I want aliens that their primary sense to observe their world is by being able to sense the insanely small variations in gravitational, I'm assuming, forces or something like that. Does I'm assuming Google caps how many characters you can have in a super chat?
Depending on the amount, yes.
Yeah, okay. Gravitational fields, yes. Okay. So like they're blind, but they can sense, like they're kind of got like a daredevil sense, sort of, kind of. Let's see, what's this one? We already read one from Massive Dynamics. This one comes from Frosted Glass. Our democracy is on the line next Tuesday.
Dun dun dun.
In states with early voting, many have already headed to the polls to choose the elected officials who will help determine the future of our nation, as they do every 4 years. Or every 2 years, really. While elections often underscore what divides us, they also reflect the democratic principle that should unite us as Americans, that no matter who you are, all of us have an equal voice in shaping our country.
2018.
Tell us about the billionaires, the Koch brothers, and so on. The right to vote is the bedrock upon which this principle rests. It is the fundamental promise of our democracy. For more than 200 years, the story of our country has been a journey towards realizing a truer version of that promise. And yet today, in America, this principle and our progress are under steady assault through a concerted effort to strip away voting rights from marginalized Americans. Empowered by the 2013 U.S. Supreme Court decision that gutted Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act, extremist politicians have relentlessly and shamelessly attacked access to the ballot box for millions of Americans. As the leaders of the nation's oldest civil rights organization and America's largest LGBTQ equal rights group, the communities we represent are uniquely impacted by these discriminatory policies. And this is written by Derek Johnson and Chad Griffin, leaders respectively of those things. These politicians are closing polling places in precincts with high percentages of voters of color. They are drawing districts that disenfranchise and dilute the vote of communities more likely to vote for a particular party. Are you telling me that Democrats have never gerrymandered?
No, of course not. It's
Democrats
only gerrymandering the other way around.
Sorry, gerrymandering. It's actually Gary. I learned that a couple of years ago. The guy's last name was pronounced Gary. But anyway, so yeah, Democrats have never redistricted things or tried to move the lines in favor of their own party. Now, I don't know about closing polling places and all of that. I keep hearing about that. I haven't actually seen anybody show me that it's either unusual or somehow illegal. So I don't know. Anyway. Moving on, we read one to say, okay, here we go. Okay, this one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. And then after this, we'll move on to YouTube time and then internet fucketry time. And then we'll come back to MSS News afterwards, guys. Off the beat, fentanyl found in odd place once man got to jail. Before I read this, what do you want to guess it's up his butt?
Yeah, go with up his butt.
Yeah. I'm going to guess he secured the fentanyl away in his bottom pocket. A man told deputies he had nothing hidden on him, but guess what? They plucked from beneath his private parts. Uh-oh.
Oh, under his ball sack. Nice.
A sack of the powerful opioid fentanyl, records show. The case of the man with painkillers under his privates happened October 10th in Stuart. That's a town name, I assume, according to an arrest affidavit. Martin County Sheriff's officials reported stopping a vehicle on Southwest Kenner Highway after noticing the driver, later identified as Giuliano Oliveri, 28, wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Investigators said Oliveri and a passenger were, quote, moving around in a frantic manner, unquote. Oliveri was shaking, his forehead sweating profusely. Investigators reported his license was suspended and took him into custody. Oliveri was brought to the county jail. On the way, a deputy said that if he had any contraband on him, he should disclose it. Oliveri said he had nothing, but but officials at the jail apparently were on the ball.
Ha!
Aha!
Ball.
They reported finding a plastic baggie with half a dozen capsules of fentanyl, quote, underneath his private parts. Oliveri of Port St. Lucie was arrested on charges including knowingly driving while license suspended, possession of controlled substance, and introduction of contraband into a correctional facility. And his partner in crime is such a looker, too. Anyway, moving on. Guys, I'm going to run real quick. I got to get some water. My throat's getting droppy.
Sure.
Right back.
Sure. While he's gone, what do you want to talk about?
Waffles.
You ever hide anything under your nutsack?
No, I don't.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save up to get Lady Monkey a ring. She likes rings, and I'm going to hide it under my ball sack for like Christmas or something.
Is that like tank packing or something?
Yeah, it's the tank packaging. Thank you, Sanguine. This isn't new or interesting. There are people that pack their foreskins with drugs. Well, that's just so you can get a good blow. Come on, that was good.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
With the day I've had, I've earned one of those. You know, I feel bad bitching about the day I've had, but I'm going to do it anyway. I didn't get much sleep again, guys, and it's starting to wear on me real bad.
Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Sanguine. That isn't new or interesting. There are people that pack their foreskins with drugs. That's news
just
to
so
me.
they can get a good blow.
That's news to me.
I can't say that twice just because Scribe.
I can. He didn't hear it.
You're right. I didn't. But
I
everybody else has now.
I said that's just so they can get a good blow.
Yes.
That's funny.
To some, sure.
Y'all suck.
Only if you ask nice.
Chat, press 1 if that was funny. Press 2 if it was really funny. There we go.
I see.
That's how I make my polls.
Yeah, I know how you make your polls. Anyway, now that I have water and can rest my voice a little bit, hey, how about time for YouTube stuff? Satsu, what have you been up to?
Nothing, to be honest. I was too busy trying to get to the store so I can get some stuff done. And I attempted to go to the store twice today. The first time I got pissed and I walked back home because I'm like, fuck this shit. And then the second time I was just like, okay, I'm just going to patiently wait. We're going to get this done. And it took fucking forever. And I was fuming the entire time. But I made it home. I bought both of my monitors. I set them up. They're good to go. And I am, nobody has died. So cool.
Okay. Hello, Irate Bear. Nice to see you. And Monkey, what did you do today in YouTube Town?
Well, I started off this morning jumping on Irate Bear's stream to bitch a little bit before my stream. By the way, guys, he's got a weird thing going on with his stream from today. Keep an eye out for this kind of thing. He's got no likes or dislikes. I know I liked the stream and didn't get rid of my like, but YouTube told him there's nothing wrong on our end.
Maybe all of his viewers are Swiss.
Oh.
Thank you, Snubber. Satsu, get ready to beat the ship out of Goldilocks. I don't know what that means. Are you a bear, Satsu?
I guess.
Maybe that's code for something.
And Bear just said it's still broken and not appearing in people's history. There's something wrong with that stream, man. And YouTube's full of shit. But anyway, then I went onto my stream and bitched about my my predicament over on the Twitter.
Yes.
And then I didn't do anything even on the computer. I walked away from it like, fuck this.
All right. Do we have a baby update by any chance?
Unfortunately, no. I sent Lady Monkey a message just a little bit ago asking how it's going. She hasn't responded yet.
Okay. Well, today I came home and I finished rewriting the script for the video that I've now rewritten the script twice for. I think I am now happy with the script. So I set that aside. And then on a whim, I decided to record a reading of my original short little creepy story, dramatic style, kind of radio play style, that will be read for the first time on the Two Girls One Stream show tomorrow at, I think it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern time is when that comes up. Somebody correct me.
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, I forget whether it's on Weibo or Some Dumb Americans channel. So go subscribe to both. But they will read it on their show first. And what I did is I recorded my reading of the story, and then I put it on top of a creepy music track. And then in a couple of places in the course of the story where it was appropriate, I put in even little sound effect things to kind of enhance it. So it kind of sounds like one of those little audiobook things you might get, I think.
Nice.
It's my first attempt. It's rough. So I will post that after their show tomorrow. So I'm not jumping the gun on having that story released early. So it may show up just before tomorrow night's stream of Lords of the Night. But it's only about a 9 or 10 minute long reading or show, so to speak. And so you could easily watch it just before the stream or, right after. And it's Lovecraftian in nature, at least the way that I wrote it. I don't claim to be as good, but there you go. So that's already. So anyway, so now that I have the script for the other video done, if I'm able to tomorrow, I will record the audio for that, and then start assembly and hopefully have that out by the end of the week, if nothing else happens. So that is what I've been up to. Now then, internet fucketry. I know Monkey's got a boatload, so we'll start with Satsu.
Well,
do you have anything? Okay.
I don't have a boatload.
Yes.
So don't save me time. I only have a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, Satsu, do you have any internet fucketry?
No, not really. Any conversations that I did have on social media were pretty docile, like nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, let me double check my Twitter feed, because that's where I do all my my stuff. Oh, there's a great little meme somebody put out of a picture of Preston Garvey from Fallout 4, and it says, "I'm glad you downloaded the beta, General, but another download needs your help."
Huh.
And I lulled, as it were. Don Lemon said, "I don't see Democrats killing people over politics." And this was tweeted out by Steve Scalise with big, wide, googly eyes.
You forgot the word successfully.
Yeah, that's true too. Or yeah. Let's see. Actor James Cromwell warns of blood in the streets if Democrats don't win the election. Quote, "If we don't stop President Trump now, then we will have a revolution for real. Then there will be blood in the streets," he told Variety. And I said, well, the Democrats will win some of their elections, sure.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Scribbles, pause your download. Well, this is when you should have went and got water. Just throwing that out there.
He vanished completely that time.
Yeah. I wonder if
Did I just, what the fuck just happened?
We lost you for a minute.
Oh,
You're
great. Well,
now.
you guys went completely silent.
No, we
yeah.
lost you.
Oh,
you
great.
went
Where did you lose me?
We lost you right as you were telling us what you said to Cromwell, or about Cromwell. They're going to win some of their elections, and that's where we lost you.
Was this, okay. I don't know why my internet's doing that now. This hasn't happened in a while, guys. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Well, I said to Cromwell, or about what he said, I said, well, the Democrats will win some of their elections, sure. If you're meaning them winning control of both the House and the Senate, then likely not. And I said, I wonder if Cromwell will be leading the charge in the streets if he doesn't get his way. Thank you, Sanguine. Scribe ex machina. Kind of. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to stop now. Monkey, what did you have to say?
My sweetheart, Alyssa Milano, said something else really stupid today. She said, Democrats want to govern. Republicans want to rule.
Dun, dun, dun.
To which I just reminded her Democrats made it illegal to exist without having health insurance. That's just true. That's fact. Don't tell me that either side just wants to govern. Fuck off. What you mean by govern is rule. You want to tell me how I have to live my life. You just want to tell me how to live my life in a different way. They want to tell me to live my life. Stop it.
Also,
Fucking
they want to
stop
control speech, and they want to control pretty much everything else.
Ben and Jerry's is selling Resist ice cream. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No, did you see the one where somebody
Cringy as fuck.
you see somebody photoshopped that to make them all look like the NPC memes, and it says hate orange man is this.
Oh, I did see that one.
Yeah, it's funny.
Somebody wanted us to talk about the Kanye thing. I think it was Toasted. Kanye, for those of you who don't know, came out and distanced himself from everybody's right. He's distancing himself from Trump. No, he's not. He's distancing himself from Candace Owens, who apparently didn't have permission to use his name for the whole Blexit thing. So he's decided he's going to stop worrying about politics at all and go back to being creative, which is probably a good idea because Kanye is a moron.
Well, that was the post that I put up a post about that earlier, saying that people kept claiming that he changed. They're like, Kanye changed. He used to be blah blah blah. I'm like, he didn't. He didn't change at all. He was saying all the crazy, what y'all called revolutionary shit that he had been saying this whole time. It is like his narrative hasn't changed. The only thing is he was more outspoken and started like coming out on like, you know, political stuff. And because he was so fixated on his own thing and what he truly believes, like he always has been, he didn't realize that the people around him were actually taking advantage of that and twisting his narrative. And when he realized that, he's like, oh, fuck. Like, because if you listen to all the stuff he was saying, the only thing is this is my vision. This is my view. This is how I feel. I want people to feel like this. I want people to do that. You know, it was like, this is what I want. And I'm cool with Trump because I support him. And I don't, I'm not telling everybody else what to do. And that's how he's always been. I'm like, that didn't change. The only difference is now because he started being political, people started taking advantage of that and using that as their, political clout. And both sides were doing it. So I'm like, there wasn't no change. Kanye's always been like this. He just wasn't paying attention this time around and didn't realize that people were actively taking what he was saying and using it. And now he realized it, and he's like, no, I'm not going to let people do that. And that's fine. Whatever.
Tosin said Kanye is not a moron. Yeah, he is. And he also asked, will this affect Blexit? No, because
Blexit.
The whole Blexit thing started as Exit Democrats or something like that. I forget what it is. And it's more about the Hotep movement than it's ever been about Kanye. And the Hoteps are not backing down. And there's some demographics changing, and we'll see how that works out. Now, before I get to my final one, the main one, the reason I'm going to start swearing, I want to read something to you. Characters like Cartman and Michael Scott did a lot to normalize bigotry. Yes, they were portrayed in the wrong, but also portrayed as likable, funny, and harmless. They taught a generation to see racism, anti-Semitism, and misogyny as harmless personality quirks.
All right.
I'm just going to let that hang. I'm not going to.
These fictional characters are.
And that just happened this year.
By the way, also video games cause people to kill other people, and rock music makes you worship Satan. Just so you know. Just so you know, it's true.
I read that and I was like, that is so fucking stupid. That is really fucking stupid. Anyway, so guys, this morning I wake up after way too little sleep. I come sit down at my computer and I log on to my Twitter, and I can't get into it. The day before yesterday, I think it was, Piers Morgan, that fucking limey dick, had posted a thing telling Americans how we need to deal with guns, specifically after the synagogue shooting. We need to get rid of AR-15s, y'all. And so I simply asked him, hey, Piers, which gun would you prefer Jews be killed with? And they banned me, or gave me a slap on the hand for hateful conduct. I got a 12-hour ban for that. 12-hour ban for asking him which gun he'd be okay with Jews being killed with, because obviously it's not the AR-15, but the other ones are okay. So
Wow.
apparently it's okay to shoot Jews with other guns. But me asking which one, that's hateful. And the specific thing is, you may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease. Which I did none of.
Yeah.
Just be glad it wasn't a woman, because I said something arguably less egregious and I got a week. So
I wasn't promoting the killing of Jews. I was making a joke at how fucking stupid he was. Now, to make matters worse, I saw this at 8 a.m, and it wasn't until 2 o'clock in the afternoon that I was actually able to click the little button. If you've never been suspended on the Twitter machine before, what they do is they make you delete the offensive tweet. And there's a little button down at the bottom that says start. I couldn't click the goddamn thing for 6 hours. 6 fucking hours. And there's no way to get any relief from it. I went to their support team, because you can click on that, which I was going to file a thing anyway, because I think they're full of shit. They were wrong in getting me in the first place. But I went there, like, look, I can't even fucking log in here. And then when we submit it, it tells you, we got your report. It'll take us a couple days to look at it, but sometimes it takes longer. Like it's a 12-hour ban. And then they didn't even give me credit for time served, fuckers. So yeah, sometime around 2 a.m, I will get my original Twitter back. Until then, you can follow me at AngryMonkey422, because you can't stop me, bitch. I just can't believe they fucking gave me a suspension for that. This one almost pisses me off more than the you're as sensitive as a clit, because at least then I was insulting somebody. I didn't even fucking do anything here.
That's tripped out, because like looking at that, from the perspective that they presented it, they're like, you literally threatened harm against a group of people.
Yes.
I literally just called the female a cunt. That's all I did. I said, you're cunt. And they're like, that's a week. Threatening violence against men, no problem.
You guys need to watch your language. That's all I gotta say.
I didn't even cuss.
Twitter
I didn't even cuss in that one. Check Your Logic says, what does 422 mean? That's my birthday, man. I thought everybody knew. You need to know my birthday. Get that tattooed on your forehead. 422, so you know what it is.
Docs.
We celebrate it every year.
I know.
Or at least I do.
Well, do you have anything else, Monkey?
No, I'm just still really pissed off about that. And every time I start talking about it, it makes me mad.
All right. Well,
of all the things to get me for that, really?
All right. Well, then, moving on, as I promised, back to MSS News. Guys, again, if you have news stories you'd like us to try to read on the air, please send them to us via the Twitter machine using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but we'll get to more tonight because I said we would. So now I'm going to get this back up and take off the filter that Twitter wants to put on there. And hopefully I won't robot out again. Of course, as soon as I say that, I'll probably robot out again. Have I?
You're fine.
Okay. Let's see. This comes from New Fate 26. Boy Meets World star William Daniels, 91, foils would-be break-in at his California home. This guy played the teacher, I think, in that show. I never really watched that show.
He's a dude from St. Elsewhere, isn't he?
I think so. Actor William Daniels played Hero Saturday when he reportedly foiled a would-be break-in at his California home. The former Boy Meets World star, who played beloved teacher George Feeney on the sitcom for 7 seasons, was in his San Fernando Valley home with wife Bonnie Bartlett when an intruder tried to kick in the back door just before 9:30 p.m. Daniels, 91, quickly turned on the lights, which spooked the wannabe swiper enough to send him or her running. Oh, I thought he was going to pull out a shotgun and blow off their leg or something.
Turn on the light, huh?
Yeah, that's that. Clap on, clap off. Okay, all right. Good for him. I'm glad he's okay, but I thought it'd be more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he's rich enough to where his lights should turn on their own.
Let's see. Oh, we'll do one more from... Oh, That's one that I posted. But before we do that, we'll do one from Colleen Bernier again, because why not?
I just tagged you both in something that I can't share on stream. I just want you to look at it.
I can't right now, but I will.
I know. I just let you know.
Breaking down the charges against the Anchorage woman, 42, accused of having sex with teen boys. A 42-year-old Anchorage woman is accused of using Instagram, Snapchat, and other social media platforms to trade sexual pictures with teenage boys ranging from 14 to 16 years old and having sex with at least 3 of them. But not all of those relationships are illegal under Alaska state law. Anchorage prosecutors charged South Anchorage mother Stephanie Custard on Friday with 3 felonies, 1 criminal count of second-degree sexual abuse of a minor for allegedly performing a sex act on a 14-year-old boy in the back of her Honda Pilot in early 2017, and 2 counts of unlawful exploitation of a minor for knowingly inducing 2 different 16-year-old boys into sending pictures of their genitals to her. The 2 16-year-old boys told a police detective they'd had sex with Custard recently, according to a detective affidavit. But Custard is not charged with the crime for the alleged sex. That's because sex between a 16-year-old and an adult is legal in most circumstances in Alaska. Alaska's age of consent laws work like this. It's never legal for an adult to have sex with someone 14 years or younger. A 15-year-old can legally consent to sex only if the person is no more than 4 years older than they are. But it is not a criminal act for a 16-year-old to have sex with an adult as long as that adult isn't in a position of authority over the teenager. Positions of authority might include coach, teacher, church leader, or foster parent. Okay. Well, Alaska's weird.
Well, I'm not going to say that out loud.
All right. Moving on. I posted this one. I thought this would be funny. CNN's Brian Stelter. And I want you to listen to this quote from Brian Stelter, okay? I hope Fox News is doing some soul searching in dividing the country.
Oh, fuck off.
This is a guy from CNN saying this.
Are you fucking with me?
No. CNN's Brian Stelter hopes that Fox News's opinion hosts take a moment to consider the role they play in how President Trump has led the country to its current socio-political state.
Fuck off. Fuck right off. Who is this, Brian? Who?
Stelter, Stelter. He has the grin of a ghoul. He's a very creepy-looking guy, but that's got nothing to do. I don't know him as a person. I don't really watch TV that much, but
is this in MSS News?
Yes, you have to scroll down a bit, and I posted it.
The thing that's the most annoying about these arguments is it's not like it's false. Like, it's not like it's not true. Like, Fox has not contributed at all to this culture. They have, but so have you. So it's like,
yeah.
And it's hard to like make that argument because you're like, yeah, but you have too. And you're like, so you're saying they haven't? No, I'm not saying that. So they have. Like, yeah, they have, but
that weaselly little shitbag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The media writ large has done these things, but CNN is not somehow immune from the same criticism as though, like as implied by Brian Stelter. The discussion began after Stelter ran a segment where he connected Trump's immigration rhetoric to some of the most controversial comments on the matter from Fox News. This segued into a discussion on how the Trump administration insists that the president's words don't contribute to the toxic political discourse which led to the recent acts of violence around the country. As Stelter talked to Allison Camerota, Allison again, and John Berman on how Trump continues to attack his enemies in order to deflect from his political vulnerability, which no politician has ever done in the history of time. He ended up talking about how often the president parrots the talking points of his favorite Fox News hosts. Quote, I sure hope some of those Fox hosts, some of those commentators take a minute to think about their role in this environment, Stelter said. Hopefully there's some soul searching right now in the wake of the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. Way to politicize a mass murder there, Brian. Just saying.
It's like, because God knows we aren't. That's how you should have ended that. Like,
How
yeah, I hope they are, because we sure as hell aren't.
How much soul searching did CNN do after Steve Scalise was shot, Brian? I wonder.
Well, he didn't die, so we didn't have to.
Well, that's true. Yeah, there's no body count. So,
Yeah.
Let's see. This one comes from senior staff reporter Jack the motherfucking Cockring. Actress panicked by panting tongue emoji from Jeffrey Rush. What?
Oh boy.
Okay, a text message with a panting tongue emoji sent from Oscar winner Jeffrey Rush panicked a young actress who said she felt the actor was unsafe.
Oh.
Erin Jean Norval said she felt, quote unquote, bewildered by the message from Mr. Rush, in which he also wrote, quote, I was thinking of you as I do more than is socially appropriate. Oh, okay. Well, that's different.
Yeah. Come
Okay.
on. Context, people.
Context.
What did he say?
He said, I was thinking of you as I do more than is socially appropriate, unquote, along with a panting tongue emoji.
Yeah. Okay. That's fuck.
Okay. Yeah. The emoji by itself, it's like, what? But no, okay. That does sound a little creepy. Miss Norval told the federal court that she probably panicked when she received the message because, quote, I believe Jeffrey to be unsafe. Mr. Rush, 67, is suing the Daily Telegraph over a series of articles late in 2017, which reported that a young actress had lodged a complaint with the Sydney Theatre Company over his alleged, quote-unquote, inappropriate behavior. The actress was later named as Miss Norval, 34, who played Mr. Rush's daughter, Cordelia, in the Sydney Theatre Company production. Production of what? I don't know. Earlier, Miss Norval told the court Mr. Rush had deliberately stroked her breast during rehearsals, and she felt shamed after he gestured groping her breasts while bulging his eyes and licking his lips.
Okay, yeah, that dude's a fucking creeper.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, but she said she did not feel she could raise the issue because Mr. Rush was the star of the show. Quote, I was not a priority in that show. I wasn't the one putting the bums on the seats, she said. I think the consequences would have been catastrophic. I mean, we were playing father and daughter. We were supposed to share the heart of the piece. Any tension between us and conflict between us would have been disastrous.
So...
I don't know. Quote, she felt she became trapped by her silence. Quote, if I fronted up to it, I thought I would have unraveled, and I thought I would have to leave the show.
So you put your career ahead of it.
Yeah. That's stupid. This is the age of Me Too, bitch. There's no way that would have happened.
Well, maybe Me Too hadn't reached Australia at that point.
Yeah.
Well, even I'm tired of hearing about that. Well, my career might have been fucked up. So if somebody's doing something to me that makes me feel horrible or belittled, I'm not going to go, well, unless I'm like really fucking poor and like eating dirt already, you can find another job, bitch. It might not be the one you want, but you can find another job. Stand the fuck up. Stop being, you did it for the job.
I'm openly against this thing, but I won't speak out against it.
I'm going to put up with it so I can get this job.
Yeah. Let's see. This one comes from Jim Heelis, he of Blue Mamba. Utah offers to pay public employees to fill their prescriptions in Mexico.
What?
Huh?
With drug prices in the United States soaring far higher than its neighbors, one insurance provider has a unique idea to keep those costs down. They're offering free transportation and a cash payout of $500 to any customers who will fill their prescriptions in Tijuana, Mexico. It's called the Pharmacy Tourism Program, a plan to cut down on medication costs by encouraging Utahns to take their business out of the United States, and it's being offered by PEHP. I don't know what that is. The official medical insurance provider for Utah's public employees. Okay. The Pharmacy Tourism Program isn't an entirely new idea. PEHP has been offering free airfare for any members willing to fly out of the country to get medical operations and prescriptions for some time now. This is just the first time that they've actually offered to pay them to do it.
Doesn't that sound more expensive?
No, it depends on the medication.
Yeah. Now, I remember recently something Trump was saying about wanting to hold pharmaceutical companies to task for the price differences between here and elsewhere. I don't know. I haven't heard anything else about that in the interim because, a lot of other stuff has happened. If he was being honest and something's actually happening about that, I hope something happens because it is ridiculous.
Yeah, we had back during the healthcare debate, and even a little bit before that, there were a lot of people wanting to buy their drugs from Canada, and we can't because they don't have the same laws we do. Okay, fine. What about the same prescription? If it's the same fucking drug, let us order it from wherever. Sorry. Anyway, we have a birthday, and you have a super chat.
I know. Thank you, Sanguine. If you agree to quid pro quo sex, you just agreed to be a whore. That was your choice, no one else's. Well, she didn't have sex with him. She just
got felt up.
Yeah, she says she got felt up at one point, and she got lewd gestures and stuff. She put up with it for the sake of her career, is what she did, and didn't tell anybody anything until I guess after the fact or late in the game. So, well, Monkey, birthday.
Apparently, we have a birthday, ladies and gentlemen. His kitten, I see out there, so I know you can hear this voice, and fairly certain you're married, and that's never stopped me before. How tall are you? While we wait for that answer, sweetie, this one's for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
to you.
Meow.
Happy birthday
to you.
Meow.
Happy birthday,
dear his kid.
Miss Kitty Cat.
Lay meow.
Happy birthday to you.
Guys, I have to say that was especially terrible.
His kid, and happy birthday. I hope you had a good one. I really do.
Let's see. We'll do one more, and then we'll move on to chat time. So this one comes from Basshole.
All right.
Basshole.
Oh, she's 4'10". Ooh.
Uh-oh. Dentist does wrong work on wrong student at Englewood High School, or Englewood School, sorry.
Damn.
Marissa Pacheco was shocked when her daughter told her what happened at Clayton Elementary School last Wednesday. Quote, she said the dentist gave her 2 shots on each side of her bottom jaw, and I was a bit concerned because I didn't know about it. They didn't call me. They didn't ask me to sign any paperwork. The problem solvers, I assume that's the news station's investigative team or whatever, reached out to the superintendent of Englewood School District, Wendy Rubin. She says she's mortified and they're investigating what went wrong. Rubin says there was a mix-up between a girl that was supposed to have dental work done and Pacheco's daughter. Why were they doing dental work at the elementary school? Is that common?
There were no children to molest at the time. I don't know.
I just didn't know they had like visiting dentists to elementary schools.
Oh, maybe that is something they do in some places.
Okay, again, maybe that's common elsewhere. I've never heard of it. Quote, I was really concerned because I would have liked to have been there with her, or if something would have went wrong, I wouldn't have known that something was taking place, Pacheco said. The problem solvers got in touch with the dentist, who released a statement saying, quote, the school and our practice are investigating what occurred. The 2 children in question had remarkably similar names, which sounded nearly identical when spoken aloud. High-quality, medically necessary services were provided. The child was happy and playful during treatment and left the clinic with a smile. The clinic? I'm very confused. Efforts to contact the parent were immediately made, but were not successful. The family has not and will not be charged for any services provided. We regret any confusion or anger this incident may have caused, but we are confident that this child's dental condition is significantly better after treatment than before. What were they doing? I'm confused. She got 2 injections of what? Okay, well, anyway. Pacheco is considering legal action against the dentist and the school district for doing work on her daughter without her consent. Okay.
Baby update. She's dilated to 1, y'all.
For those of us that have no knowledge of pregnancies, what does that mean?
That means nothing's moving yet.
Okay.
you have to be dilated to 10 for the baby to come out, basically, usually. And things don't typically start to move until you like get to 7 or something. Then it goes like that usually, or at least with my children, it did.
Okay.
Real quick, several people made comments about our singing that I think Chatmore said, "You woke up my cat. She doesn't look impressed." And Sora said, "Scribe, Ranting Monkey, and Satsu. My mom rushed in here concerned about the singing."
Well, Chatmort, you can go watch some anime to calm you down. It's okay.
How tall is your mom?
All right, guys. Well, it is chat time. So if you have any questions, comments, conspiracy theories, complaints, if you have a Fallout 76 download horror story, post them in the chat now. If you've got questions for us directly, put plenty of question marks after what you have to say. And yeah, there you go. And if I robot out again, let me know, because I can't tell. Let's see.
Oh, shit. I just read what Pincalo said. Sorry.
What did Pincalo say?
He said blind press went from 4 centimeters to 10 in something like an hour.
Yeesh.
Damn.
Hypnagoga Monk says, what the fuck is a woman thinking saying you drank too much? What?
I feel like I missed something.
I think I missed something as well. Let's see. Jenna P says, so the baby will be born November 1st.
At this rate, maybe.
Chatmore says, that was awfully dismissive, Scribe Light.
Is it too silly if she's born tomorrow to call her Pumpkin?
No, you're going to call her that anyway.
That's going to be my little Pumpkin.
Well, Chatmore, you dismissed our singing as annoying your cat, so I don't know what to tell you.
Tell your cat he's an asshole or she's an asshole. Look, I love cats, and they're all assholes, so that's not... But your cat's an asshole, just saying.
Random American says, Ranting Monkey, who won the contest for the game?
If you're talking about last night, it's a user called FC260, and we're still waiting for him or her to contact us so we can get him the game.
Also, guys,
We're changing the rules.
yeah, we're deciding if you come in and you apply for the raffle and you're not there to receive your reward, then we got to pick somebody else. We don't want to have to hunt you down.
So you don't have to like stay there the whole time, but you need to be there for the drawing.
Monkey, I think instead of Pumpkin, you need to call her. No, you need to call her Munkin.
Munkin. I actually have a monkey avatar that's what they call it, a Munkin.
A Munkin? Okay. Pyrus Creed says, Monkey, what do you think about doing a long election night stream after Lords of the Night with any guests that will come?
That is an amazing idea. Who said that?
Pyrus Creed.
Pyrus, that is an absolutely excellent idea. And if I remember, yeah, I can do that.
Let's see. Breaking news. The director of Google X, I don't know what Google X is, has resigned following last week's New York Times report that claimed he had sexually harassed a job applicant.
Good job, Dickhole.
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag, what was he thinking?
Let's see. Thank you, Dork Gulf City Oracle. I hope her labor goes relatively quickly. I was in labor for 26 hours with posterior labor. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Oh, shit. That's that stuff where you got to lean over on your... Because it's all in the back, right? Oh, dorky. Sorry to hear that.
Well, my mom still got you beat. 36 hours. And monkeys, too, apparently. Jenna P says, Monkey, the nickname goes with any of the next few days. Pumpkin works for the next few days. Yep. So Pumpkin, either, Halloween or oncoming to Thanksgiving, I suppose.
What the hell is that at?
What's that?
Nothing. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm looking for something on my computer.
Angela Ariaga says, Scribe Light, does that make the new baby monkey punky? Pumpkin monkey. Punky monkey. I want you here with me. Yeah, I still remember the theme song to the Punky Brewster cartoon. That's how stupid I am. Let's see. Check Your Logic says, Ranting Monkey, I always remembered your birthday. That was actually the first stream I saw from Lords of the Night. I also know Weebo's birthday the day before yours.
Weebos
Yeah,
is the
Monkey-
day before mine.
I guess, but I know that Monkey and SDA all have like the same birthday.
I think
So
you have
it's-
Weebos mixed up.
Yeah,
Me
And
and
Satsu's is 2 days before mine.
yeah,
right.
Me and SDA have the same birthday, right? Or is hers the 21st?
Me and SDA are on the 22nd. You're on the 20th, right?
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. You are a black man born on 420 and you don't smoke dope.
I thought we covered this already.
I don't think I've ever put all of that together at once.
I'm pretty sure we covered this.
Hypnagogue amongst the Scribe Light. Have you seen Haunting of Hill House? No, I've seen the House
I
on
wanna
Haunted
see that.
Hill. House on Haunted Hill, the remake with Jeffrey Rush of all people. But no, I haven't seen The Haunting of Hill House. I don't know much about it. I've just heard that there's a lot to pay attention to in the background, and the ending sucks. That's all I've heard. So I don't know, but I haven't watched it yet. Let's see. Harvest Marvis says, Scribelight never understood the addition of that furry fucking thing in regards to the Punky cartoon. Well, yeah, the little, like, I don't know, stuffed animal that gets caught in our world after getting across the rainbow. It's a cartoon, and they needed to add a magical little friend into it, I guess. I don't know. I don't even remember the thing's name. I just remember that the gateway to his world was a rainbow, and the rainbow disappeared before he could get home, and now he was caught all alone, just like Punky, because she was an orphan or whatever. The Red Hawk says, Monkey, I want to find you in Fallout 76 just so I can shoot you in the face with a missile launcher as vengeance for Satsu.
I would appreciate that.
You don't want to start that fight with me. Oh, can I bring up? Bear just brought that up, guys. The Steam sale. Check it out if you haven't. The Halloween Steam sale is fucking awesome right now.
Ooh, what's Grim Dawn going for?
$7, like $7.50 or $7.80, something like that. Yeah. Bloodlines is going for $5.
Damn.
Yeah, the Steam sale is crazy right now.
Yeah, guys, if you're Diablo fans at all, or just like sort of loot games and things like that, definitely check out Grim Dawn. If you like it, you'll love the expansion packs. It's very addictive if you like building characters. It's really well done. Really good. Moving on from that. Irate Bear says, even The Sims 3 is on sale.
Jenna wants us to mention her health. Apparently she has pneumonia and is coughing up blood. Go to the doctor, woman.
Yeah. Don't sit here talking to us. Get help. What the?
Go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Go
Jenna,
take care of
please. Yeah. Cynical Lindsley, got any good remedies to help get me through this cold? Copious amounts of sex? I don't know. Booze? Maybe some booze?
I forgot to mention earlier that I'm going to be playing Dead Space on Twitch tonight.
Oh. Angela Arias is described like The Haunting with Liam Neeson, Lily Taylor, and Owen Wilson was a remake of House on Haunted Hill, and it was awful. It was awful. If you want a good remake of House on Haunted Hill, the one with Jeffrey Rush is actually decent. It's creepy. It's got Jeffrey Combs in it as a ghost. Or just watch the original with Vincent Price. It's goofy as fuck, but it's something to watch in fun with friends and things.
Or go find any of the books that are done on the house that's all based around.
You're not thinking of Amityville, right?
No.
Okay, all right.
What is the actual name of the house? Hill House? I can't remember, but
yeah.
It's a lot of stories and movies have made. They're all basically about the same house, just told a little bit differently.
Harvos Marva says, best cartoon theme song from the 80s. I always thought the best song insofar as the actual music was the theme song to the Karate Kid cartoon. I think you can find it on YouTube. You find the Karate Kid cartoon. The lyrics are nothing. It's just like occasionally they say Karate Kid kind of thing. But the actual music sounds like something could actually fit in like a regular old TV show. That was just me.
Did they say from the 90s?
Well, they said the 80s. So
80s.
but if you've got one from the 90s, given that's your generation, by all means.
The song that I remember the most is the Shaman King song. That show used to come on Saturday mornings or whatever.
I don't actually remember the songs from the 80s.
I remember too many. The one for the Alf cartoon was all right.
All of that shit has been removed from my head to make room for other shit.
Gordon sends us into outer space because there ain't no one like you in the Mamakian race. I remember that. Thank you, Waikikamukow. Can a kangaroo jump higher than the Empire State Building? Of course, the Empire State Building can't jump. Womp, 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 womp. Genevieve says, Went got a breathing treatment at hospital and was sent home. I'm a do not resuscitate.
Why
Wait,
are you do not
what?
resuscitate?
What? Jenna, what? I don't understand. If you can't breathe, if you're coughing up blood, call 911. Seriously.
Yeah, don't sit there and just take it and remove the DNR for help.
Yeah, the DNR. I mean, like if you're a vegetable or something, I guess, but you're not a vegetable. You're chatting with us, so DNR doesn't apply. Angela Ariaga says the radio at work has been playing the Scooby-Doo theme song. The customers chuckle because I can sing the whole thing. Yeah.
I do love the Scooby-Doo theme song, the original one. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, where are you? Got a lot to do now. Ebony Williams says, Lords of the Night, have any of you seen Crimson Peak? I have not.
Never even heard of it.
It's a horror movie with, isn't it with the guy who plays Loki? Am I misremembering? If you want to see a really interesting French murder thriller mystery starring Jean Reno, look up The Crimson Rivers. That is a weird movie, but it's really kind of well done.
Monkey, download Stick Fight the game so I can kick your ass.
Let's see. What else? Dead Island is $5.99.
Yes, and so is Riptide, so you can get
both
of them.
What else? Friday the 13th, the game is only $6. Alien Isolation is $10. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, but honestly, guys, Grim Dawn. Look up Grim Dawn. Dark Alile says, good night all. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Bye, Dark Alile.
See ya.
Ebony Williams says, yes,
Okay.
Scribe, Tom Hiddleston. Yes, Tom Hiddleston.
I finally found it.
What's that?
My Munkin.
Oh. Is this a picture you want me to show?
Yeah, you'll have to just present me.
Okay. There you go. Oh, that. Are you going to use that avatar for Halloweeny tomorrow?
I don't like changing my avatars just because it makes it when you change your fucking avatars, and I know you buy your avatar, it fucks my brain all up. So I try not to do that to other people. I used to change them every holiday for Facebook, but no, I don't do it on Twitter or on here.
Why kick a moo cow? How do you count cows? With a calculator. Did you get that joke off of a popsicle stick?
I hope so. I love the popsicle
chance?
stick jokes.
Let's see. Oh, while we have a few minutes, hey guys, if you're dressing up as anything for Halloween tomorrow, tell us in the chat. Because I'm not dressing up as anything. I may just sort of dress up for the sake of dressing up, like put on a tie and a vest and everything, just look fancy. Because,
Prospero says, I'm wearing that t-shirt tomorrow night. My husband too. Sweet. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you for the support.
Harvest Marvel says, Scarblade, did you guys discuss the Mueller rape accusations and what he referred the FBI to do?
No, we didn't.
No,
They're fake allegations that came out against him. Well, what's being reported is that this woman was shopping around a story, and that it came out that she was being paid to accuse him of sexual harassment when they worked for a law firm back in 1974.
Jesus.
And they contacted a whole bunch of different reporters, many of them on the left, because like the Krasensteins or whatever the fuck their names are, one of them got involved in all of this. He said he thought it was actually rather than a setup of Mueller, a setup of the press, whether or not they would actually run with this shit. There have been a few right-wing sources who actually had like crazy right-wing sources who have run with this, like InfoWars light kind of sources. But yeah, he referred it to the FBI. Is it the FBI? I think because since there was I don't know what they can actually do about it because there was no charge actually made. The woman who What'd she give her name as? Lorraine or something like that. The law firm has no record of anybody like that working for them. It's just a whole shit show, and I think it'll take a day or two before we know enough to talk about it in depth. But that's basically what's going on.
Let's see. Moonshock says, Scribe, I'm buying Grim Dawn as we speak. I think I'll give it a try. Hopefully it'll be as good as you say. Like I say, if you liked... sorry?
May I? Scribe told me to buy this game. I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. And I got it on the last sale they had it on. And I sat down and I told Scribe, I'm like, dude, I'm going to play it for like an hour. And I looked up and it was 4 hours later. It is awesome. Play it.
Yeah. There's a lot of deep lore to that game. It is a lot of reading. There's not a whole lot of voice acting, but if you get into the lore, and if you like building characters and speccing characters out, and the RPG stuff like that, there are a zillion different ways to build your character. It does take a little practice to find the type and play style that you like with that game. So screw around with your first character a bit just to get a feel for the game, then look up like advice on character builds and stuff like that if you're into that kind of deal. If you get the expansion packs, which I guess are also on sale right now, they add a whole, not only do they, I mean, they're expansion packs. They're not DLC. They're like the old school expansion packs. They add whole extra level of world to it and characters and things and equipment and options and so on. It's great. Okay, let me scroll a bit because I know I missed a whole bunch of things. See, Chatmort says, I'm dressing up as a sad, kind of chubby white girl. It's going to be awesome. Har, 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 har. Furry Kitten says, dressing up as a security guard and then a doorman, and I'm working. Ha, 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 ha. You guys would just take all the fun out of this. Sanguine says, I will sadly be at work, and that means I am only allowed my uniform. Boy, guys. Check Your Logic says, don't judge me, but I'm dressing up as the teacher, Mr. Schuster from Glee. Okay. Well, I never watched the show, but if you're a fan of the show, hey, go for it. Duck Dog says, I'm dressing up as a redneck goose hunter, so I'm putting clothes on. Hey, guys. Everybody's got the same joke here. Ebony Williams, collared shirt and jeans for my job. Original Shroom says, I make my own avatar, as if you can't tell. I'd love to have a professional one made. I wouldn't, from what I can see, I wouldn't be able to say that it's not professionally made. So,
who said
congratulations. Original Shroom.
Where's Shrooms?
Captain Bramble.
I'm on top chat. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Captain Bramble says, I'm dressing up as a white person with 1024th Native American. Let's see. Pinkal, the driving ape man says, LOL, blind said I'm not allowed, but I'm going to go as a UK police officer that was blinded by an acid attack, but still has to work because the guy was set free.
How's she going to know what you dress up as?
That's complicated. Maybe if you dressed in a suit that was like covered in Braille, then she'd have to like feel him up to read whatever the message was.
Yeah.
Damn. You can get Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 for $15.
Nice.
Oh, speaking of, guys, tomorrow on the 7 Days to Die open server, we will be giving away a copy of 7 Days to Die and maybe more. Maybe. Come by and watch.
Stargazer Nut says, I'm dressing up as a brunette living in Texas. Gosh, you guys.
I like brunettes. Remind me, Nuts, how tall are you?
Let's see. Cynical Lindsay says, if I wasn't feeling under the weather, I'd probably be dressing up as Proncius Cassidy from Preacher. I'm probably saying that wrong. I have a couple of his outfits. Okay. Let's see. Alan Sawyer says, since I drive a white van, I was thinking of putting free candy signs on it and parking on the street just to see what people would do.
You're going to get arrested.
Yeah. Best of luck. Have a lawyer ready.
Yeah, you have 2 super chats.
Yeah, I know. Everything's jumping on me. Thank you, Waikikamukow. When cows get sick, what do you call it? Hay fever. Waikikamukow again, thank you. What do you get from cows in Alaska? Ice cream. RJ Banzo says, Ranting Monkey, who is your favorite English actor?
English actor. I don't know that I can answer that.
Well, the answer is Benedict Cumberbatch.
I hate him.
Jester Murillo, Satsu, you got a PS4. Do you play Elder Scrolls Online?
I don't. I have it for PC, but I played it for probably an hour and a half, and I'm like, I hate this.
We both got it the same night, and yeah, he played an hour and a half. I haven't even finished loading the damn thing.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow, this
Fuck
is
it.
I don't like this at all. I didn't give it that much of a chance, but it did not have a good impression on me going in.
Check Your Logic says, Scribe, I was thinking about dressing up as the Wanderer above the sea fog, but nobody would know what that is. Yeah, I have every intention, if I end up going to like some YouTube convention or something at some point, that I actually go dressed up like my avatar. I got to find that sort of frock coat sort of thing and get a walking stick and all that. But that's for the future. Moonshock says, if you dressed up as home plate, could you say you're dressing up as a safe space?
Yeah.
Hey Momo says Call of Cthulhu comes out tomorrow. I watched last month. The developers posted an hour-long, no commentary sort of demo of the game. It looked like it got the feel right. I wasn't so jazzed about the voice acting of the main character or the character models and face animations. I'm going to wait until I see some more reviews and input from others before I think about buying that, because, Call of Cthulhu games, I mean, Lovecraft is really tough to translate to mediums other than writing. Most of his stories are very first person, very abstract. There's only a couple that kind of serve themselves towards media like Mountains of Madness or Shadow over Innsmouth, and maybe Color Out of Space, which apparently they're making a movie of again. I hope better. So when it comes to video games, it's really about making a game that is a horror game and not an action game, and that's not always an easy sell. So we'll see.
For the record, Bear's favorite game, Outlast, is also on sale right now.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I beat Outlast. It was fun.
Sorry.
Bear can't even say Outlast without getting scared.
No, he can't say substantive without like being English. Ebony Williams says, Satsu, what's your favorite muffin?
Banana nut muffins.
Yeah, I'd probably be with you on that.
Yeah.
She wasn't asking you.
What's that?
I said she wasn't asking Monkey. She was asking Satsu.
I was answering anyway.
Yeah. Mr. Dax says, In the Mouth of Madness is awesome. I love that movie. In the Mouth of Madness is great. If you haven't seen it, John Carpenter film starring Sam Neill. It's a combination of Lovecraftian themes with some Stephen King thrown in. It's probably my third favorite Carpenter film after The Thing and Halloween. As far as horror movies go, I mean, Carpenter's done some good stuff that isn't horror, like Starman and such. But
Chatmore just called us bitches.
Wow.
Why?
Lemon poppy seed, bitches.
Oh, those are pretty good too.
No.
I like chocolate.
Oh, those, yeah, I don't mind those either.
Blueberry muffins are good too. It depends. But
Real quick, Lindsay says, I would play Outlast, but I'm not good with stealth-based games. Satsu, should I play stealth-based games?
You would do horrible at Outlast.
Yeah.
I've loaded it one time. I haven't played it.
You can't defend yourself. That's what makes the game scary. Like, you can't fight back. You have to run or sneak past, and it's horrifying, man.
Black Romeo says Lovecraft is good as an audio drama too. Yeah, there's several good Lovecraft audio. If you go to the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society on the internet, they have several professionally done audio dramas available. Also, I don't know if you can find them elsewhere. They might be on like SoundClouds or maybe on YouTube somewhere. But if you look up Lovecraft Dragon Con, a couple of times they did live performances of some of these stories as radio plays, and some of those are really good. And then, if you can find a copy of it, and I think it might be on YouTube as well, Jeffrey Combs doing a dramatic reading of The Reanimator is excellent. Excellent. I have that. I got that on CD when it first came out. It's great. Let's see. Harvest Marvel says, Scribe saw a new music video parody for Halloween by the Slash Street Boys. Quote, I will kill you that way. You guys think it's Halloween versus suggest.
Squishy won't stop listening to that shit.
That's the one I linked, I think, yesterday. It's a great song. Absolutely. Just as catchy when it's parodying, actually.
Any good Halloween vids to suggest? Nightmare on My Street. Just look.
Oh, I love that. That's on my iTunes.
Yeah, look up Nightmare on My Street and just play that, and you'll be fine. Let's see what else. Raz Dadler says favorite Thin Lizzy song. Whiskey in a Jar. I guess, if I had to think of one. Let's see. Granted, that is a cover, but then that song's older than dirt, so everybody does a cover of it. Check Your Logic said, how does Moses heat up tea? He brews it. Har har.
Does he do it in the microwave? Because that'll piss off Bear.
Is that kosher? Irate Bear says, I run at the enemy until I die. That's a great strategy. Good job, Bear. Let's see. Peter Hades says, should I bother asking a question? Well, you just did. So the answer is yes. Chatmort says, I don't know. Poppy seeds are one of the few things I'm not allergic to. Oh, so you're a heroin addict. Oh, wait. That's not right. Let's see. Bear says it's the only strategy. Yes. Data Wasteland says, do you know one of John Travolta's first movies, Blowout? I know of it. I don't know that I've ever seen it.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, Satsu's going to be Twitch gaming after this. Stargazer just threw the thing in there. The thing in the thingy.
Let's see. Shiograth says, I saw an ad. Yeah, well, these streams are the only things on my channel, aside from like spoken word stuff or soapboxes or whatever, that actually monetize. If it's on ad, then
Everybody.
yeah. We have 4 minutes left, guys. So, got anything else? Chatmort says, I mean, I do live in Ohio. Does Ohio have a heroin problem? I don't know.
Greatest horror director. Who made 50 Shades?
I mean, wrote it or directed it?
Directed it.
Oh, I forget.
That movie sucked. But
Greatest horror director? I mean, consistently, probably John Carpenter. Obviously. Well, yeah, Wes Craven. Yeah, I guess you could be a toss-up between Wes Craven and John Carpenter.
Yeah. Both are very good.
Both are very good. Their skills and abilities both waned a little bit in their later years, but they never really stopped being iconic. And Carpenter's still active. Hell, he's probably a more well-known musician now than he is director, because his sort of electronic music and everything else gets a lot of attention, and rightfully so. I like a lot of it. Have you heard the new soundtrack to the new Halloween movie?
No. Yeah,
well, he did the soundtrack for it, and he didn't just duplicate his own work. He actually made some really fucking good music. So you can find it on YouTube, I think. It's actually really good and creepy. BG says, Scribe, like most batshit insane musical you enjoy. Batshit insane. Phantom of the Paradise. So if you don't know what that is, look it up. Phantom of the Paradise. Let's see. Cynical Lindsay says Carpenter's new album is a great game. I really like this.
Whoa, we're losing you. Or was that me? Satsu, was that him or me?
That's him.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't go out completely. You just got really, yeah. You're good now.
What part of my talking did I suddenly break up at?
I stopped you pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Peter Hades says, and Rob Zombie, does he count? I mean, Devil's Rejects is so far his peak. Everything else that he's done, even though I have a sentimental liking for House of a Thousand Corpses, it's just ridiculous. But since Devil's Rejects, I haven't been impressed with most of Zombie's stuff. Harvest Marvel says, Scribe like Nightmare on My Street by Will Smith.
Yep. Actually, is the Fresh Prince.
Well, yeah, Fresh Prince, yes. Let's see. James Colley, the lead singer of America, played the Phantom.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Chatmore says, yeah, Ohio is having a heroin epidemic. I'm on too much medicine to try and feel normal to jeopardize it by doing drugs to feel wacky, though. Well, there you go. Angela Arriaga, Scribe Light, you didn't break up. You got weird, quiet, and hollow. Well, you just described my entire attitude. That, guys, by the time I finish this, we'll be at the top of the hour. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone has a safe Halloween tomorrow, whether you're joining us tomorrow night or not. And as well for all of your children running around, hopefully having fun and not being handed methamphetamine, because that's what happened apparently. Remember, right after, is it after this stream you guys are playing?
He's playing, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Over
I'll be on Twitch.
Yeah, over on Twitch, Satsu's Twitch channel, he'll be playing Dead Space and creeping himself out and everybody else, hopefully. Tomorrow night, remember, guys, will be on Monkey's channel per usual for Halloweeny. And don't forget, I forget whether it's Weibo's channel or Some Dumb Americans channel, but tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, the Two Girls, One Stream show. Somewhere therein, my original little scary horror story will be read, probably badly, because neither one of those girls know how to read beyond a monosyllabic state. Well, Weibo mostly. I think SDA is okay. But anyway, guys, everyone, hope you're well. Everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. Moderators, thanks for keeping an eye on things, even though our chat is the best chat in the world. So
Can I plug something real fast? I forgot.
Is Lady Monkey in the room?
She's not, unfortunately.
Okay.
I will be joining the Ghost Poo guys tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, apparently, on Drunkle's channel.
4:30
Eastern. Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to do a morning show tomorrow as well?
Probably, yes.
Okay. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye out for that, guys. But anyway, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, your lives make us spooky. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Latest.
Any update on the baby?
No, nothing come in since dilated to 1.
Okay. Today's secret word is dilated.
What a word.